Well, hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Crypto Corner, my video podcast where I discuss everything related to cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and of course we pay attention a lot to Bitcoin and the top cryptocurrencies here on this channel. Now today I will be going through some of the news as usual and the markets, and I will be answering some of your questions, which is what I always do on Wednesday. I will be talking about the hyperbaking of Tezos, which turned out to be a scam. So stay tuned for that. This is only one of the things that I will be covering. We still have a lot more to come, so let's get started. And as usual, we start with an overlook of the markets. We see a lot of green across the board. We see that the only one cryptocurrency in the top 10 that is actually doing quite poorly is Ripple. No surprises there. It is now at 45 cents, which is the support levels that I was talking about in my previous videos. I showed you the chart and I was expecting that Ripple will be correcting to support levels in the mid 40 range, maybe even down to 40 cents, 41, 42 is also support, so we'll see if it's going to hold. Currently the support at 45 is holding, but I'm not really sure whether it will be holding for too long. I feel there is a lot of selling pressure now after the Flare network fork, which happened on Saturday, I believe. The tokens, actually, the Spark tokens are not yet distributed, and I don't think they will be distributed until January, but people are rushing already to sell their Ripple because too many people bought Ripple in the run-up to that fork, and I don't really see why, because as I said, it's not going to really be a lot of money. I don't feel that Spark token will be so expensive to really cover you for the losses that you've made if you bought Ripple at 60 cents or above 60 cents and are selling it now at 45 or something like that. So not great. Overall, we have actually gained. The total market cap is 565 billion. This is the overall global market cap. It was 530 something just a few days ago. Bitcoin's market cap is also growing with the price of Bitcoin. It's now 361 billion, and Bitcoin's price as we speak is above 19,800 as I speak. You can see it here how it's changing on my screen. It was 19,600 when I was preparing for the video, and that's why below here in the stats, in the quick stats, you will see that it's saying 19,610, but it has jumped since I started the video. 19,830 currently as we speak. Ethereum is also pumping with it. It's 595 as we speak, up 6% in the last week. Bitcoin up 6% as well, 6.27 in the last week. Ripple down 17.5% in the last week. Some other big gainers in the top 10, we see Litecoin 10% in the last week, actually much better than what Bitcoin and Ethereum is doing. Cardano is doing 11% in the last week, and Polkadot 10.98, so almost 11% in the last week. Now this is from the top 10. Then in the top 20 we have some other big gainers like Monero, 18%, 18.5% over the last week, and NEM another 20%. Wow, NEM is really doing a great pump. I mean, it's not really a pump, it's just a very steady and sustainable growth and consistent growth. NEM was 40% up in the last month, last time we checked, so it's probably even more with this gain. Now let's look at the news and what can we find there. But also, before I go into the news, let me say a quick thank you to the sponsors of this video. You're already familiar with this company. I have been talking about it for quite some time. Cobo Vault. This is a brand new community-driven lending platform that aims to decentralize the borrowing and lending industry with the use of blockchain technology, of course. The Cobo Vault platform allows borrowers to get access to hassle-free capital, approved, voted, and supported by a community treasury in order to get any size loan without the oversight of a bank. They're currently in pre-sale of their CBOT token via BX exchange, and their initial exchange offering started in the end of November. So if you want to take part in this sale and get your hand on the token at the pre-sale prices, head over to cobodland.com. You will find the link in the description below. The token is already supported by all ERC20 wallets. With MetaMask, you can even do an instant swap for any other ERC20 token of your choice. Alternatively, you can head over to Bancor Exchange or Uniswap or any of the other exchanges listed on their website. You can even stake the token because staking is already live. And with that, we are now ready to move on to the news section and see what is currently happening around the world. Starting with a news about Bitcoin coming from the Cointelegraph. They're basically pointing out the fact that the Bitcoin growth this year, which was more than 200% since the beginning of the year, is beating all of the other investment tools. As they reported earlier, 2020 has been seminal year for holders, they say, as Bitcoin trumps stocks, gold and other macro bets to easily claim the title of best investment of 2020. And also they point out that since the drop in March, which was at 3,600, we touched very briefly, Bitcoin has now grown up 440%. So yeah, no surprise there. I actually covered that in one of my previous episodes, and I have always been telling you that Bitcoin is a better investment than gold, or pretty much it is the new gold. It is for our generation. Bitcoin is the gold. Now there is another title here. This is not so good. It's basically a hack on one of the owners of a DeFi protocol called Nexus Mutual. Nexus Mutual, if you don't know, it is a lending platform just like Cobo Lend and BlockFi and other lending platforms. It is one of the leading lending platforms, and this is why it's not great to see this kind of a controversy. So the owner of Nexus Mutual was actually targeted, and it managed to get hacked, apparently, his computer. So someone managed to gain remote access to his computer and modified his MetaMask extension. As you know, MetaMask is an extension for Google Chrome and other browsers. So he did a transfer of 370,000 Nexus tokens, which were worth $8.25 million on Monday when the actual transaction happened. And it is bad news, guys, because this is a lending platform. So this was a personal wallet, so it was a personal transaction, but luckily it wasn't a company transaction or anything like that. But still, he is the head of that company, so it is controversy. And when you have a company that is doing finance and you have that kind of controversy, is not very good news. This is why I'm always telling you about using hardware wallets, because even MetaMask, even though it is quite a safe wallet, it's an extension. And if your computer is compromised, extensions on your browsers can be modified, like this example. This is why I always recommend a hardware wallet, and I did a review of the Opolo hardware wallet. This is the latest device on the market. It has the latest secure element, which is the chip inside that is protecting your all of your data, basically your mnemonic phrase, your private keys and everything. It is a more recent chip than even what Ledger is using. So this is why I'm saying that it is currently the most secure and latest device on the market. It is compact and everything. It fits in your pocket. It's also touchscreen, which makes it easier to type and everything. And it's important to have a device like that because this is an extra layer of protection. When you need to approve a transaction, you have to do it on the device, and you are seeing the address being displayed here on the screen. So it's not only a copy and paste type of a scenario like with MetaMask, where there is no extra layer of security to stop you from signing that transaction. You can see the wallet address displayed on your screen here, and you can make sure you read it, and you actually make sure that it is the same wallet address that you genuinely want to send the money to. So this is how you can actually protect yourself from these kind of hacks. And yes, MetaMask and other software based wallets are never 100% secure. So don't use software wallets for long-term holdings or for big amounts like this guy did. This is basically all I want to say. Now let's move on to the next news. It is about Ripple, basically talking about the fact that people are still selling Ripple despite the Flare airdrop. It didn't really do very well, and I also mentioned that in my video. You know already about that. It doesn't make sense to be buying Ripple when it's pumping at like 60 cents or even over 60 cents, and now selling Ripple at 45 cents or something like that. That loss that you are making from that difference will hardly be covered by the Spark token that will be airdropped probably in January, because the fork has already happened, but people are not getting the tokens distributed probably until January. This is why I don't know. I don't really think that the token will be very expensive, but I will be talking about that token a little bit more again just a little later, because it's one of the questions that I got, so I will be covering that. In other news, Motor's Cointelegraph is reporting here that Motor's blockchain island strategy is falling back. Basically, banks are refusing to play according to the agreements that were done previously by the previous government. If you remember, Motor had a very crypto-friendly government, but they were all enthralled in a lot of controversy about being corrupt and everything, taking bribes and all of these things. So they now have a new government, completely new government officials, and they're not as crypto friendly as the previous government was. So Motor's blockchain island branding is basically falling apart. Well, not great news. Another news about MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is one of the big investors in Bitcoin currently, institutional investors. They're not an investment company per se, but they do hold a lot of these investments funds, and they recently purchased I think $400 million worth in Bitcoin, and they are now they have managed to raise another $635 million from their different investments and everything that they will be injecting into Bitcoin as well. So their total investment in Bitcoin will be $1 billion, which is huge, and this is yet another reason why we're seeing Bitcoin keep pumping. I mean, people, institutions right now are really buying Bitcoin at these prices, and they're not allowing it to even correct properly. In other news, Bancor also surged quite high because it got listed on Coinbase. I actually missed that. I wasn't aware of the listing on Coinbase. It surged by 86% after the listing on Coinbase, and the volume on Bancor exchange also spiked. So this is always what's happening with listings on Coinbase. We already know that. I wish I knew earlier so that I can tell you prior, but they also don't really announce these things. So yeah, we couldn't really know that until it happened. And there is yet another institutional investment here confirmed. The UK-based Raffer investment is allocating 2.5% of their portfolio to Bitcoin. So yet more institutional money coming into Bitcoin. Retail investors are also looking at that, and they jump into that bandwagon. So there is even more fresh new money coming into Bitcoin, which is why the price keeps going up and cannot correct. So this is what is my quick news roundup. Now let's go into my Q&A so that I can answer your questions. There are quite a few questions that I received that I need to address, because as we see in my previous, this is the one I'm gonna start with. In my previous video, I actually talked about, 2 videos ago, I talked about Hyperbaking by Tezos, and apparently that was a fake. Not good on my part, but I have to take the criticism, and I already changed in the description of that video. I already put that this was a fake website. At the time there was no information, nobody could confirm that this was a fake website. And unfortunately, I only found out from your comments, guys. So thank you for the comments, even though, these guys are being a little bit negative, but I understand that, because at the time I wasn't aware that I'm pretty much not promoting, but reporting on something that was fraudulent. So Rodney is the first one who actually said, I follow Tezos on all major social media platforms. I never saw them mention this. And then other people responded that it was a scam. And I did more research, and I did find this announcement, which unfortunately came a little too late. This is an announcement by Tezos Foundation. They say that someone used a basically phishing website that looked like the original Tezos Foundation website and was promoting the hyperbaking, which, if you remember, was giving you over 125% returns over a year period. I should have noticed that this is a super high return, and it is typically when you see a return of over 125%, you know that it is unsustainable and that it cannot happen. So apologies for that. Luckily for my viewers, nobody was scammed, because all of the spots that were allocated for this hyper baking thing got taken before, got filled up before I even finished recording the video. By the time I recorded the video and I posted it, they were all gone. Unfortunately, the people who were rushing into this got scammed, and I reported it because I saw it reported on one of the news outlets that I'm following and I'm reporting using in my reporting. So Tezos Foundation took their time and they put this alert more than a day later. So unfortunately, people did get scammed. Luckily, not people from our viewers here. So this is still apologies for reporting on it and not realizing that it was in fact a fraudulent website. Now let's look into some of the other comments that we have here. OR is saying, I don't actually know your name, OR, just initials. What if I forgot to put XRP on an exchange on that specific date in order to obtain the Spark token? Is there any possibility to still get it? The quick answer is yes, you can still get it, because what they did is just a snapshot of the blockchain. So wherever your XRP was staying in, whichever wallet it was, that it will reflect in that snapshot. What you will have to do now is go and find out what is the requirement for you, in order to claim the fork when it becomes available, because it's not yet available. But when distribution starts, you should go and claim these tokens, and you will need your private key in order to claim these tokens. So if you were holding your XRP in Ledger Nano X or another hardware wallet, then you will have to find that private key. If it was Exodus or Atomic Wallet, they had their own instructions onto what you need to do. So I did post the links in my previous video to these wallets, what were their requirements and what you need to follow. There was also a detailed blog about Ledger, what you will need to do if you're holding them with Ledger. But whatever your wallet is, just or if you don't find my video, just Google it and you will find the instructions on what you need to do. Also make sure that you're following genuine instructions and you're not going to go onto a phishing website and provide your private key on a phishing website. This is very important. So make sure that you always find the official sources, and not do the mistake that I did with reporting on something that wasn't actually from a legitimate source. Again, apologies for that. Now let's look into the next question, and this is about the Flare token as well. Michael Gillet is saying that I make no sense. He's talking about me. This guy makes no sense. Don't listen to him. He said, don't get and hold a Flare token. It's Spark actually token, because everyone's gonna sell, but he's gonna hold some. But everyone will dump, but some will hold because it's good for the community network. So what the fuck? Okay, so let me clarify, because clearly you're not quite, you didn't quite get me. So what I was saying is, first of all, if you have already XRP and you're getting that token for free, the majority of the people that are getting that token for free will be selling it, will be dumping it straight away. And I showed you examples with previous airdrops, how the chart always goes down. For instance, I actually gave you an example with Uni token, and I'm going to use the same example. I can give you other examples that are worse than Uni token, but I'm using here a token that is actually a project that is actually quite popular, like Uniswap. And even that Uniswap, what it did, it was much higher in the first day, in the first couple of days, than what happened afterwards. And even right now, it is still lower than what it was in the first week. So in the first week, Uniswap Uni token actually pumped. It went up to $7-8, and since then it started corrected. It went down to $3, then it went down to $2, 2.60, then it went down to even 1.91. So if you're a holder and it goes really that low, you're losing value. If you are one of those early sellers, when you were, if you were selling it here at $5, $6, $7, $8, you're in profit even right now. It went down to 1.82, then it managed to gain some of that back, to regain some of that value. Where is it now? At 340. At 340, it's still way below $6, $7, $8, which is what it reached in the early days. So if you are one of those early sellers, you made a good profit. If you're not, you are just still in profit, but very little. If you're one of those who are selling here later on and panic selling here, you made even less of a profit than the early ones. That's why I'm saying that everyone will be rushing to sell it in the beginning, and I will be selling it in the beginning. I want to be one of those early sellers. Then it will be going there, and you're not even guaranteed that there will be any upside. It might be just a straight downside from the first moment on. That's what I'm expecting. Uniswap is a popular exchange, a lot of users. Uni token was providing utility. You don't really know what Spark token will be doing. Certainly not providing utility for everyday transactions or anything like that. So it will be one of those tokens that will take some time for the markets to actually appreciate it. So I don't expect it to be going up in value at all in the first few months. So it's not going to be weeks, it's going to be months of that price not going up. Do you really want to be holding it, or do you want to sell it early here and make a few quick bucks and then maybe buying it again cheaper if you really trust in believe in that project and you want to hold it longer term? So this is what I was saying, and I was saying that I will sell most of my tokens in the early days and I will keep some of them. So I will be selling most of my tokens and keep some of them. This will be the ratio. That much I will sell and that much I will hold in case something happens and it surprises me and it shoots up, and I can be taking advantage of a pump, but it will be a small amount that I will just leave there. If it goes to zero or really dumps, I will be losing a small amount. So that's why I will be keeping a small amount. I'm not going to be keeping my tokens to be selling them later on at the pump and telling everyone else sell. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying that the majority of my tokens I will sell, and that was also what I was suggesting. So I hope this is clear now and it makes more sense. Now let's look into the last comment and see, is there another question? Yes, there is another question. So Moonboy from DC is saying, can someone help me please? I have a friend with a Nano X. Today he accidentally deleted his XRP account. Is there any possible way that he can retrieve his coins? Well, yes, it's really simple. All he needs to do is just put back that XRP account, because what he's done, he's deleted the XRP application from his maybe Ledger Live or from his actual device. It doesn't matter. This is just an application that is reading the information that is already on the blockchain. Your coins are not on in that device. Your coins are on the blockchain. They're permanently recorded on the blockchain. They're basically just a string of transactions coming in and out between different people, different wallets. And this is how the blockchain reports that for this private key that you have, there is X amount of XRP that is been allocated, that is a result of previous transactions from previous people, previous wallets. What you need to do is add the application to that same Nano X, not a different device. Don't reset the device and make it as a new one. It needs to be the same, with the same mnemonic phrase and with the same private keys as the device it was before you deleted that application. And because it has the same mnemonic phrase, it responds to the same private key. The private key is going to unlock the information on the blockchain for you, and you will see your coins. Just add Ripple application again to your Ledger Live and to your device. That's all you have to do. So this is everything, guys. Thanks for staying until the end. I'm not going to take any more of your time. These are the questions that I answered today. If you have a question, post it below. I will be picking up questions for next Wednesday, when I will be answering more of these questions. Also, if you're a new subscriber, thanks for subscribing. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you are notified when I'm posting a new video. I do a lot of giveaways. Don't forget to go and check out the giveaway for the Opolo wallet if you haven't yet done that. All you need to do is grab the the tweet from the description box below and go and retweet. Follow Opolo, follow me, and make a suggestion for a feature that you want to see on this device, and you can win one of these for free on the 20th of December. If you didn't win, you can still get it at half price. Follow the link in the description box. This is everything from me. Thanks for staying until the end, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.